as Sean Strickland's next UFC fight gets closer. With less than 2 weeks to go, he's already firing shots at middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev. Before we get into it, make sure you drop a like on the video to support the channel. It really helps us out. Strickland recently spoke with ESPN and he didn't hold back when talking about Khamzat. He accused Chimaev of holding up the middleweight division and being inactive for long stretches after each fight. Strickland said there's no point in waiting for a title shot when the champion barely fights, especially since Khamzat doesn't seem to need the money and takes long breaks between bouts. He also mocked Khamzat for constantly talking about injuries, suggesting that there's always some mysterious issue after every fight. According to Strickland, it's always something, whether it's a broken hand, a damaged shoulder, or some other problem, and he questioned why anyone should sit around waiting for that belt when the champion barely defends it. Strickland even went further, claiming that from a financial perspective, fighters might make more money not chasing the belt because the champion's inactivity slows everything down. He criticized the situation, saying the division is basically stuck waiting for Khamzat to fight again. So what do you think? Does Strickland have a point, or is he just talking trash as usual? Let us know in the comments. Dricus du Plessis wants a Khamzat rematch. Staying on the topic of Khamzat Chimaev, it looks like Dricus du Plessis still wants that rematch. In a recent interview, DDP made it clear that running it back with Khamzat is exactly what he's looking for. He said that Khamzat knows if he approached that fight differently, things could end very badly for him. Dricus added that there won't be any surprises if they fight again. He believes Khamzat will use the same approach, and if he changes anything, it could be a disastrous night for him. However, DDP also gave Khamzat credit, saying he did what he needed to do to win the belt, and that's just how the game works. He said it's fair, even if it's not how he would personally want to win his own title. Dricus finished by saying it's now his responsibility to fix that, stop Khamzat from fighting that way again, and force him into his own style of fight. Would you like to see that rematch? Let us know. Khamzat Chimaev and Khalil Rountree training together. As for Khamzat's next fight, nothing is officially confirmed yet, but all signs are pointing toward him facing Nassourdine Imavov. It definitely looks like Khamzat is gearing up for a return, because he's been spotted training with Khalil Rountree Jr. He was also seen sparring with current UFC middleweight contenders, which suggests his comeback might be closer than people think. Keep an eye on this situation, because we could be getting fight news very soon. Dana White releases multiple UFC fighters. Now let's move on to some major roster updates. Dana White and the UFC have released multiple fighters in the last 48 hours, and it's been a huge shake-up. According to reports, Kamaru Usman's brother, Muhammad Usman, has been released from the UFC roster. If you've been following the channel, you'll remember that Muhammad recently tested positive for PEDs and received a 30-month suspension, which would have made him eligible to return in 2028. With that suspension, his age, and everything else, it looks like the UFC decided to move on. The promotion has been on a strict policy lately, and Muhammad ends his UFC run with a 4-2 record in the heavyweight division. But he wasn't the only heavyweight cut. Jailton Almeida has also reportedly been released after his recent performance. Almeida's manager said he planned to move back down to light heavyweight, but it looks like the UFC wasn't interested in that move. Reports say Almeida had one fight left on his contract before last weekend, and the UFC decided not to re-sign him before the fight even happened. That's a big move considering he was ranked in the top 10 at heavyweight. What do you think about these releases? Harsh or justified? Nate Diaz apologizes to Charles Oliveira with all these fighters getting released. Another big name is teasing a comeback. Nate Diaz recently posted on X, saying he started a whole division, brought value, and still has unfinished business. He said he plans on coming back and taking what's his. Then a clip from an interview started going viral, where Diaz was asked to predict the UFC 326 fight between Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway. In the clip, Diaz made a comment that many people misunderstood, thinking he was talking trash about Max Holloway. Eventually, Diaz clarified that he was actually referring to Oliveira, but he admitted the comment was rude and apologized publicly. He said he shouldn't have said it and showed respect to Oliveira. He also mentioned he'd be interested in fighting on the rumored UFC White House card, which is a massive storyline right now. Would you rather see OG fighters like Diaz on that card or newer names? Tell us in the comments. Sean O'Malley calls for Petr Yan fight at the White House AGAI. Next up, Sean O'Malley is once again calling for a fight with Petr Yan at the White House event. This is probably the 10th time he's called for this fight in the last few weeks. In a recent Q&A, O'Malley was asked who he wants to fight next, and he immediately brought up Petr Yan again. He said he's ready to fight Yan at the White House and questioned what else there is to do. O'Malley also talked about activity, being in his prime and wanting big fights. He mentioned other potential opponents, but made it clear that a title opportunity or a massive fight like Yan is what he's chasing. The big question is whether O'Malley deserves another title shot. Does beating Song Yadong after losing twice to Merab Avalishvili earn him a shot at the belt? The UFC has made exceptions before, especially for fighters they like, and O'Malley is definitely one of those names. If the UFC really wants an American heavy card for the White House event, O'Malley is one of the few big American stars who could be on it. Whether they give him an instant title shot against Yan is still up in the air, but don't be surprised if you see him on that card. Alex Pereira teases a move to heavyweight now. Let's get into some UFC updates. First up, Alex Pereira is once again teasing a move to heavyweight. Over the past few weeks, he's been hinting at chasing a third belt, and he posted again on Instagram, suggesting he might go for heavyweight gold and possibly retire afterward. If Pereira actually moves up, that would be a massive storyline. Let us know if you think he should go for a third belt. Therese Finney injury update next. We've got an injury update on Therese Finney. During UFC 325, he tore his ACL and both meniscus just 15 seconds into his fight. Yesterday, he confirmed he had surgery and said he fought through the injury for the rest of the fight. He posted that he's thankful and believes this will be another obstacle he overcomes. That's a brutal injury, so hopefully we'll see him back healthy soon. Islam Makhachev makes Young Fans Day. Islam Makhachev recently made a Young Fans Day by giving him a signed hat and cup. A clip went viral where someone joked that the kid should sell it on eBay, but it was a wholesome moment that fans loved. A new UFC fight's announced. Now let's talk about newly announced fights. First up, Jose Delgado revealed on Instagram Live that he'll be fighting Andra Fili at UFC Vegas 114 on March 14th. Delgado is a Contender Series winner and has fought 3 times in the UFC, while Fili is coming off a recent win. 2 weeks later, on March 28th, Terrence McKinney is reportedly fighting Kyle Nelson. McKinney last competed at UFC 323, while Nelson is coming off a decision win. Next 2 fights are reportedly added for April 4th at UFC Vegas 115. Tofik Masayev is set to face Samuel Sanchez, and Robert Ruzala will take on Jose Delano. Both matchups are scheduled to take place at lightweight and featherweight. Let us know how you think these fights will play out. Dustin Poirier back in the gym. It also looks like Dustin Poirier is back in the gym training at American Top Team. A clip surfaced of him working out, and fans are already speculating about what's next for the Diamond. Islam Makhachev interested in Ilia Topuria fight. Islam Makhachev has also said he's interested in fighting Ilia Topuria. In a recent interview, he said he likes the idea and knows fans want it. He also said he won't fight before Ramadan and plans to start training camp after March 19th. Makhachev added that he'd be fine fighting at the UFC White House card, which would be huge. As of now, it still looks like Justin Gaethje vs Ilia Topuria is the direction, but things could change quickly. Ilia Topuria's coach warns Justin Gaethje. Ilia Topuria's striking coach recently had a warning for Justin Gaethje. He believes that if Gaethje comes forward aggressively, Topuria will knock him out early. That's a bold prediction and definitely adds hype to the potential matchup. Shara Magomedov criticizes Ilia Topuria's resume. Shara Magomedov recently criticized Ilia Topuria's resume in an interview. He suggested that some of Topuria's opponents weren't at their best when they fought him and questioned the level of competition he faced. He said Topuria is a great fighter, but believes some opponents were worn out or past their prime. What do you think about these comments? Dana White forcing Tom Aspinall to vacate title. Last night, reports went viral claiming that Tom Aspinall was being forced to vacate his heavyweight title after surgery. The rumor started from a source known for spreading fake reports, claiming Aspinall agreed to vacate only if the UFC released him so he could box. Josh Thompson reacted to the rumors, saying the heavyweight division is already a mess and that this situation would make it even worse. He also criticized how the division has been handled recently and said lighter weight classes are carrying the sport right now. The MMA community quickly roasted the rumor, pointing out that the source is unreliable and has posted fake announcements in the past. But Tom Aspinall's team's denied the rumor this morning. Aspinall's team shut down the rumor completely. Journalist Peter Carroll confirmed that no one contacted Aspinall about vacating the title and that the reports were false. It wouldn't make sense for the UFC to release him with fights left on his contract, so it looks like this was just another fake story going viral. And that's going to wrap up today's video. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. We'll see you tomorrow.